Hey guys, Az here at Chilled Canine. It's another day here, another fine Thursday. As you can see, Chilled Canine is under construction, as it always seems to be. Every couple months, we're always making improvements. If you've been following us over the last few years, you know that it's always onwards and upwards with us. There's always some new project that we're working on. We're improving some area on the property, or we're renovating something, fixing something, making something better, adding something. So we're gonna be doing some things over here. It's a surprise. You guys are gonna see what it is. And we also have a lot of other stuff in the works. So as usual today, as with every day, we're chasing excellence, we're training dogs, and you know, we're putting some fantastic stuff out there. So stay tuned, you're gonna see some stuff today. He's so pretty.
Ronan, come! Good! Go boy! Up. Ronan! Yeah, go boy! Go boy! Yeah, buddy! Good job! Ronan, come! Go boy! Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy!
And you're gonna do this very slowly. I want you to do this. Okay, ball up, walk forward. Now slowly pull her out and stop.
Okay. Yeah!
Good, again, very good. Go, walk. Now the same thing, pull her forward.
Okay.
Yeah! Good. Again, get your hand out of the picture, just drop the ball directly. If the dog comes out of position, you never go forward.
Because you're
Hey,
going
get back. She needs to get back and in, not forward, right? This is the difference between a half-ass heel and a dog who's like 100% healing with intensity because she expects to lose if she doesn't work hard. So this is what we're teaching. It shouldn't be easy. She should be like iron next to me. Like I can't get her out of there. So as you're walking, she comes out. If you pull, Kate, come on, Kate. You can use the ball, help a little bit. Oh, good. It's an urgency. You have to have urgency with her. And then she'll be like, shit, I can never leave this position. So that's the game. You're trying, it becomes like a competition between you. Number one, you're pushing me into this. Number two, can I get you to leave? Can I pull you out? And the harder she's like, no. And then she's like, no, I'm staying here. And you're like, oh, good. Yeah, right? And now the dog becomes more and more intense about staying in this position because you're applying all this resistance to her. To the dog until literally she's like making claw marks in the ground to not leave that position. Without her coming in, just pivot. Yes. Turning her ass a little bit. Yes. Roar. I don't want her to think it's coming in. It's pivoting. Pivot again. Beautiful. Good. And now turn. Good. I'll put a timer on yourself. 8 minutes. Your sessions. 8 minutes for now. Just quality, short, intense. Come here. Come on. Come here. Good girl. I always pet underneath. It's less threatening, right? And if she has a problem, she can avoid it. When it's coming over top, it's more like threatening, right? And then if I see that she's like acting really sketchy about the interaction, right? Like she's like acting really sketchy about it. Like you can see this is like an open behavior. If she's acting like, oh, I don't want to be pet by you, then I won't pet her. I'll just be here, right? And then she can just kind of like take me in on her own. But when I start putting my attention on her and she doesn't like it, then it's going to make it worse, right? And I don't do a lot of direct eye contact with her because I don't handle her, right? That's also threatening if I'm always eyeing her down. I'm just here and she's here and she can leave and she doesn't feel like I'm like pushing on her. She came to me, right? And I invited her in versus I came to her and I was like, you know, that's what a lot of people do. And with a little bit more sketchy talks like this, you get a problem. Yes, you do. You're so cute though. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Shoot. Very nice. Oh, yeah. And away, other bite. Oi! Aye! Aye! Good. Kind of under the chin now. Good, very nice.
Good girl.
That was very good. So you can see now with the dog, the drive transitions are excellent. Barking to the prey, barking to the prey. It's very nice, very clear for the dog. The grips really looking a lot better than they were. Now the dog's stabilizing in the grips, and you can really see she's understanding that we want her to pull and not to counter in and push and chew around or any of that kind of stuff. Sometimes she loses a little fullness, but the fullness will come with time and confidence. So I'm not overly concerned about that right now. So we're just going to keep finagling it, playing with it, and just building that habit, that repetition with her of this is how it always is. This is how we want you to bite, and it's going to really come. She's going to be a super fast dog, and if the handler stays with it, I think she's going to be a really nice IGP dog. All right, guys. So this is place part 2. You've already seen my part 1 video. As with everything, I like to generalize it. So he did it in the room. Now I'm going to do it out here, and I'm going to start showing him right from the get that I expect him to be on point with staying on there. So I'm going to tell him, place, chip, off, break. Good, place, chip. Good. And now I'm going to make him wait on there. Good. Good boy. Reward. Now he's on the place. If he comes off, I'm going to mark with the and place, and I'm going to put him right back on there. And I'm going to move around a little bit and make sure that I have some reliability, right? Which, as you see, he has a good understanding. Good. Right? And he's just staying there. This is good exercise for puppies. It's called impulse control. Yeah, he's frolicking on the mat. That's fine. He's chewing the mat or he's chewing his leash. That's fine. Don't worry about it. He's learning. He's showing you that he understands what you want. This is a 12-week-old puppy holding position on a mat out in an open field, right? After literally training this like for 2 days. That's how fast this is when you do it properly. Now, if I want him to come off, the temptation is to go far away and make him come off. I won't do that. And the reason why I won't do that is because I don't want him anticipating the release when I'm far. So I'll always come close, break. Good boy. Chip. Veto place. Chip. Good boy. Right? And for those of you that train with no food, just put him on with pressure, praise him, and call it a day, right? Let's see how far I can go. Good boy, Vito. Good, look at that. Good boy. Good. Break. And we're going to do that again. And you can see, I just move away, point, place. Place. Chip. Good. Good boy. And you can see there, break, that the dog understands. He's starting to understand, oh, just go to the bed and the reward's on the bed. So you can start introducing him to this concept of, I'm sending you to place from a distance, okay? So, and you could see there, he started to sniff the ground. I just, I just let him know, hey, that's wrong, man. Get back on task. And he got back on task very well. So, that's plays part 2. Yeah, good. That's it. Put it up. So, this is a new dog that we've got in for training. He's actually from our breeding program. He just came back from his puppy racer. And, you know, I know he has plenty of prey drive. What he also has is he has a reactive side. So when he came in, he was huffing and puffing at everybody. So when you have a young dog who's doing that, you know, huffing and puffing, which is quite common for young German Shepherds and young Belgian Malinois too, you come through the reactive side. If you just play prey games with those dogs, I guarantee you, you're leaving a huge hole in the dog's ability to handle a true threat scenario. So as long as, sure, as long as the sleeve is out there and you're playing with the sleeve, the dog's good. But the second you say, okay, it's not about the sleeve, now it's about me, what are you gonna do now? If the game that the dog is used to is only, you know, play and prey, then you're gonna have a big problem, especially with a dog who has a naturally large reactive side. So what we're doing with him first is I'm showing him a little bit on the reactive side, like I'm opening the defense a little bit in the dog, and you can see he's a little bit confused. He goes, whoa, whoa, and then he looks at the handler because, you know, in the past, we don't allow him to bark at random people on the street. So right now it's creating a little confusion, but he's going to understand that there's a context. Remember, I always say dogs are kings of context. He's going to understand there is a context where you can bark at people. On the street, just randomly at random people, it's not acceptable. But, you know, in this context, when we're doing this stuff, when there's somebody presenting an obvious threat to you, right? It's okay. You can do that, and ultimately we'll be putting that on a command, right? And we'll be showing him only on command can you do this. But in the beginning, it just starts like this, and we start building his confidence, allowing him to believe that he can bark at people, that his barking is powerful, it affects me, right? And that not only when you bark well, now the prey comes out. You're making me give you the prey. And that's an important lesson that a lot of young dogs, in my opinion, people lead off with the prey, and the dog doesn't learn that lesson. So if I ever see a dog that shows a very strong reactive side naturally, I don't care how much prey drive they have, I'm gonna come through the reactive side first. This is a Kojak, guys, another dog from my breeding program, and he's here for protection training. Kojak has a super strong defensive aggression side, okay? Really defensive, really aggressive, and he struggles to make the transition to prey. So the barking's really impressive, but the biting has been something that we've been working on because he doesn't like to go from the barking to the biting. And of course, that's just part of the process of teaching a dog like him. Again, yes, he has some prey drive, so if we played prey from the beginning, I'm sure he'd be happy to chase the sleeve, but he still has that huge defensive cloud or the defensive piece to him, and if we hadn't come through that, then anything that triggers that, all of a sudden he's going to go into defense, whoa, 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 and he's not going to want to engage in the actual biting. So again, he's a wonderful example of a defensive dog who needs to come through the defense in order to be at his maximum potential in the prey drive and in the bite work.
Good boy, Kojak. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Good job.
Oh! Crazy.
Good boy. Good boy. Good job. Good.
He's coming through all that defense really nice. He's biting hard. I'm not staying long on the grip. I'm just building his confidence and his belief in himself. You can see he has a lot of defense. He has to learn to channel that defense up into the prey pyramid. He has naturally good grips. His pursuit's a little slow, but that's just practice. The more he builds confidence, I think the faster he will be. Hey, come a little bit, come. Hey, come. Oh. So you might think that last little bite was lackluster, but it's actually really big. It's the first time he's come to me and bitten. Before, I'd always have to go to him. So his belief that he can transition from that defense into the prey and come and bite is really, really big. So what we're going to do next time with him is we're just going to keep building on this until he starts to have less of a defensive idea in his head about bite work and more of a proactive idea, until he really wants to come forward all the way. The handler, my communication with the handler was a little off. He wasn't expecting that, so we were a little bit, it wasn't as clear as I would have liked it to be, but that's okay. At the end, he still came forward and he still bit. As soon as he bit, I was gone. I don't care what kind of bite it was. So, you know, with him, it's a game of increments, and the more he believes in himself, soon he's going to be such a nice dog in the protection work, especially as a personal protection dog. For me, I like these kinds of dogs, right? The prey junkie type dogs, those are the type of dogs where, in many cases, you know, they need a lot of like cues. They can be really reliant on equipment, stuff like that in order to get going. With defensive dogs, I think they make excellent protection dogs because they're naturally more suspicious of things that they don't know, and they provide more of a deterrent. So they might not be as extreme in the bite work as with the super high prey dogs, but you still see, you know, even with him, you can still see the potential there for really nice bite work. It's just going to take a little bit more time to develop properly. Oh, it's very good. Don't move, don't move. Good boy. Good.
I'm actually very methodical. It came right.
That was good. It's just that initial scent, and what we're teaching him, right? He's such a high drive dog. He just wants to go. Like, that's all he wants to do. Is he just wants to go. So what we're teaching him is, number one, you got to smell the article, and number two, you got to use your nose and not your eyes.